Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that.
I'm glad to have you here.
Genius is coming. All right. So I am happy to be. I always say this that I'm happy to be asked to come speak again. Dr. Eric Kelly is he likes for me to speak. So anyway, today I am going to talk about how to build a simple marketing campaign for solopreneurs. I have a little bit about me. Again, Nancy did a great job, but I've been working with solopreneurs since the 90s. And back in the 90s, to have online visibility, pretty much you could get away with just a website. But today, a website, you are just a drop in the bucket, a drop in the whole ocean, rather. And so the question I get a lot is, how do I get business? How do I get leads? How do I market? So what I'm going to do is break this down very simple into some very simple steps of that a solopreneur can follow. Okay. First and foremost is networking. You have to cultivate connections. Okay. Um, you in order to get leads, you have to be visible. People have to know about your business. What products and services do you offer? Today, it is so much easier to network than it was back in the 90s. Because back in the 90s, you had to put on your makeup, get dressed up, get in your car, and go drive to networking events. And then go there and try to, walk across the room or introduce, shake some hands, meet some people, get some business cards. But today, there's no excuse. You could just get dressed up from the what they call it, from the waist up, and make yourself presentable and get online. There are so many online networking groups, and you can even be even more specific and niche down to whatever type of industry or type of people that you're trying to target. There's a hint there. A lot of you don't even know who you're targeting. A lot of solopreneurs say, everybody's my audience. Well, let me tell you, no, everybody is not your audience. You need to be specific. You need to know who could gain the most value from the product or service that you have. For example, although I'm a web designer, I specifically focus on solopreneurs, those who are just getting started in business or need help with their marketing. And so I don't go for the big corporations or organizations or those that need a lot of support, maintenance, technology. So therefore, I'm going to look for marketing groups or networking that has my specific audience, groups that are for startup solopreneurs. Okay. I could even be more specific that if I had a passion to just work with mothers, stay at home moms, there's different people that you can niche down to that degree. The best you can niche your business down or target, then the better you can find who you're going to network with. But I want you to also know that networking isn't about just you. It's about who can you help? Who can you connect? Who can you refer to? Okay? Because the better you learn to connect and refer, then the better people are going to connect and refer people to you. Okay? Simple as that. You got to get out there. You got to get out there. You can't expect to have a business and people just to find you. No. Okay, so that's step number one. Next is social media. And let me just step back again about the networking, how I was saying it's so much easier now. Back in the 90s, you could only network within your local area. You weren't going to drive for, 2 hours to a networking event, be there for an hour and then drive 2 hours back. That's a full-time, well, a part-time job, just trying to network. But now you could, turn on your computer and network with people across the world. I've done it. I've met people and I've gotten clients that are across the world now because you can network like that. So second is social media. Social media is how you have to get out there and let people know your business exists. So, and social media does not mean just constantly putting out posts about your business. Buy my product, call me, book a meeting. No, you don't want to do that. The purposes of social media is to number one, make people aware of your business, and then create yourself as a resource. Like for me, my social media, I'm educating my audience, letting them know I'm a subject matter expert with digital technology. That's why I call myself the digital technologist. So you want to make sure that you have value-driven content. Focus on either educating, entertaining, or inspiring your audience, and all of those. And then throughout there, you can drop a little bit of promotion, but don't make it just promotional only. And then have posts that engages with your audience. So ask questions at the end of your post. I did a post where, a fun one where I was like, find the first word that you see in this maze, in this word puzzle, So tell me what I would say, tell me what word. People would engage with that. So then if they would tell me what word they saw, then I would comment on what they commented on. And then I would say, oh, what made you see that word? If you saw the word design, is that what you do, or is that what you aspire? Because the purpose of social media is to be social. You don't want to just put out posts and then just get a bunch of thumbs up or likes or hearts. That's not moving along the conversation. That's not engaging. So ask questions to get people to respond. And then when they do respond, then respond back. So even if somebody does just give you a thumbs up or a like or a heart, then comment back and say, thank you so much for liking my post. What was it about my post that you liked? Are you into this, or are you trying to do that? Something to move along that conversation. And be consistent, okay? As a solopreneur, I know you don't have a lot of time. Like some people will tell you, post 3 times a day and at these hours, these times of the day, and on all of the platforms. No, let's be honest. You don't have time for that. But you do need to make time to find out, of all of the social media platforms, where is your target audience? And then consistently post. And when I say consistent, if consistent for you is once a month, then doggone it, put a post out there once a month. I don't care what it takes you. Make yourself a calendar and know that this is the one time you're going to post every month. And then once you start being consistent with once a month, then try to do once a week. And then maybe twice a week. And then you'll eventually get to the point of at least once a day. And try to figure out some type of calendar that's going to help you be consistent. For instance, first of all, I'm not telling you to do anything I'm not doing myself. And it took me time to get to this point, but I'm getting results. So what I do is I have a calendar, and I'll say Sunday, I'm going to do something inspirational, post something inspirational. Monday, I will spend time looking at, well, actually, I'm to the point now, I look at feedback and engagement on all my posts. You do want to do that on a daily basis. But I do say, like on Monday, I will look at at particularly try to find a post and maybe create a post based on some other post I may have seen and really liked, put my little spin on it for my Monday. And then Tuesday, I do something that's called Tech Term Tuesday. I'm looking here at my calendar. I have to cheat a minute. I do a Tech Term Tuesday. This is where I will do a post about some type of digital technology. Then on Wednesdays, I'll do a video. I'm going to talk about videos a little bit later and how impactful a video can be, but I'll do some kind of video on a Wednesday. And then Thursday is when I promote my upcoming event. I have events every Thursday where I do free training. And so I promote it on Thursdays. And then Fridays, I will take that time and maybe look for another post. Leverage. It's called leveraging. Look for someone else's post, maybe that you like, and you'll put your spin on it and post it to your audience. And then it was Friday. And then Saturday, I'll do another video. And then we're back around to Sunday. So come up with something that will work for you. And like I said, it took me a while to get to that point, but I like it now. So create yourself, a calendar. There are some people who they want to use like these automated posting software. I don't use that. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I don't use it because I find that my posts are more authentic when I actually put some daily thought into it. Because sometimes you can post about something that may have happened to you that day that you might think could be inspirational or encouraging or something like that. So if you're trying to do a content calendar and you're trying to put posts on this calendar a week in advance or a month in advance, things have changed. Things change rapidly. So again, I'm not saying I'm against it. I just don't do it. I don't do the calendar. I know what I'm going to post, and I'll post something authentic that relates to me that day. Okay. Next is a landing page. So when you go to these networking events and you meet people, you don't want to just send them to your website or tell them check out your website. You should always have some type of promotion. Okay. Something that is like time sensitive or seasonal, something. And a landing page is where you want to send that new connection so that they can just get a bite size of what you do. For instance, I do a lot of things. Web design, email marketing, video creation, social media, lead generation, and training. And training and events. Okay. If I sent somebody to my website, somebody I just met, they would get overwhelmed with everything that I do. So therefore, depending on how the conversation is going with someone, if I feel that they need a video or they'd like a video for their business, then I send them to a specific landing page, and that's all that page talks about. It just talks about what kind of videos that I do. Okay. A landing page is something that the main purpose of it is to get leads. Okay. So it's either to get leads or to make a sale, but it's very seldom nowadays do people make a decision and will purchase something upon first seeing it. So a landing page, there's components to a landing page. The first thing you want to have is an attention-getting headline. Okay. When they come to that page, it should capture their attention. I don't know the age group of who might be watching, but back in the days with the newspaper, and it was like, what is it? Action. I forgot what they, calling all. Oh, it used to say something on the newspapers. I'm telling my age here now. Where special option, whatever they would say. And it would get your attention. So it would be a big headline. on the newspaper, the front headline, or even in a magazine, and that would grab your attention to make you want to read further. So that's what you want to have on your landing page, not just some landing page that says, welcome to Arba, the digital technologist. Buh, that's boring. You want it to have something that if I'm talking to somebody about videos, when they get to my landing page, it's going to say, wow, your audience with a captivating video. Find out how. Something like that. And then give a value proposition. That means explain what are the benefits of your product or service. Remember, you are not the only one on the block that's doing what you're doing. You're not the only one selling that lotion, potion, cream, or the only coach or whichever. And that kind of really goes back something very fundamental that I train is you have got to, that's not a good word. You need to create your brand. Okay. I don't care if you are selling the same thing as 1,000 other people. And we know that exists in network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing. I have nothing against that. But what I do have against is that if you don't create your brand, meaning your brand is you are what brings that product or service. When you're introducing it to someone, you have to put yourself into it. You have to inject yourself. You can't expect to sell the same product as someone else the same way that they sell it. You have to talk about your story, your experience. Why is it that you feel so passionate about this product or service? Because once you show your passion about something, that is what's going to get someone's attention. And that's what you need to do on your landing page, is to talk about why you're passionate or believe in this product or service. And then finally, have a strong call to action on that landing page. A call to action does not necessarily mean buy. The minimal call to action that you should have on your landing page is to collect their name, email, and hopefully phone number. Why? Because now you have learned how to create a lead. A lead is someone that finds whatever information that you're sharing valuable enough to give you their name, email, and phone number, because that means that they're at least interested in you continuing to follow up with them until they unsubscribe or until they book a call with you or meet with you to find out more, and then ultimately purchase. I'm telling you, that works. That is what has worked for me. Okay. And if you can, the next thing I'm going to talk about on your landing page is just giving information on the landing page that may not be enough for them to want to give their email, their contact information. So what you can do, or what you should do, is have a lead magnet. What a lead magnet is something that's kind of before you leave, before you go, I've got an ebook you can download. Or would you like to come to my free webinar? Or how about a free consultation? So something that will provide value to that person. Because again, we're trying to move customers along this, it's called a customer journey. So let me step back a little bit. You meet them at a networking event, and or they find you on social media. They go to your landing page to get a little more information. And then you're like, then they look and there's like, this is interesting. But then what's going to really kind of grab them, grab their attention, is offer that value of the ebook, come to a webinar or training, or get a free consultation. And then, at that point, that's when a lead becomes a prospect. A prospect is a qualified lead, okay? Because not everyone is a prospect, because you may find that the pricing of your service or product may be out of the league for that lead. Or maybe if you have a type of business or service that is based on a location, then you're trying to qualify that lead to say, well, they're kind of out of my area that I'm not going to drive 3 hours to provide this service or whichever. So that's what qualifying a lead to a prospect will do, and the lead magnet will help you to do that. Because actually, people will give you a little more information if you give them more that they'll want. So someone may give me a little more information if they want my ebook. By the way, I do have an ebook of everything that I'm talking about today, as well as I do weekly training with this as well. So lead magnet, and there's, oh my goodness, there's so many types of lead magnets. I just talked about 3: ebook, webinar, or a free consultation. But there's so many more. You can do quizzes, maybe a trial product. But I have a list of things. Okay, now you have all of these leads, and leads are a person's name, minimal name and email. Now, what do you do with all those names and emails? Or back in the day, it used to be business cards. Oh, no more business cards. You don't want to get business cards. Is so 90s, because what would happen is you'd get, I'd like to do visuals, but I can't grab my box here. But I could show you this box. This box of business cards. So you get a bunch of business cards, and then what do? You never do anything with all those business cards. Let's be honest, especially if you're a solopreneur. So what you want to do is, I'm going to talk about this one thing before I talk about this. You want to have a good CRM. A CRM is a customer relationship management system. And what that is that when you're collecting these names and emails, they should automatically go into a database so that you can follow up with all of these people that you've met. Put your notes in there. It should have all of their contact information. So not just for you to follow up, but remember earlier I said about making connections and referring. So how are you going to refer somebody? How am I going to refer somebody? And I'm going to say, oh, wait a minute, let me find their business card. It's in here somewhere. Oh my God. No. If you have a good CRM and you've put in there a note that, okay, this person does SEO, because I don't do SEO. Then if somebody's looking for it, then I could just look in my database, my CRM, and look for, oh, this person, SEO, I met them at this networking event. And then I could just copy, paste, send whoever I'm trying to refer their referral information. You got to have a good CRM. That's the one thing. And then I'm going to come back to the email marketing. So you want to and create follow-ups. If you don't put follow-ups on some type of calendar or some type of notification, you're not going to do it. Let's be honest. If you don't put it, just like if you have a doctor's appointment, I bet you're going to put it in your phone. You're going to put in there and it's going to give you a notification that you have a doctor's appointment. You need to treat your business the same way. You need to put follow-up notifications for the different prospects. Again, you follow up with prospects, not with every lead. Leads you nurture, okay, and then you're able to manage your business much better by segmenting your different contacts. Is this a referral partner? Is this a potential customer? Is this an existing customer? Let's talk about it's better to maintain and keep contact and keep happy your existing customers. That's what your CRM is for as well, to do that. Okay, now let me go back to email nurturing now that I've talked about the CRM. So having a good CRM is how you can then nurture these leads into prospects. So you want to engage with them consistently. Now, don't send daily emails. Although one of my contacts, he does send daily emails, and I find them quite amusing. But and you do want to have the ability for people to unsubscribe if they don't like it. But have something where you're engaging, and again, you're creating valuable information that you're sending to the leads that are in your CRM. And there's a formula for doing your email nurturing. A simple 4 kind of step one is your first email. You want it to be a welcome email. Welcome. Thank you for joining my email list, so that they remember that they joined it. Second is to provide value. Tell them what are you going to be sending them and how often. That you're going to be sending them an email on a weekly basis with the upcoming events, or on a monthly basis with some health tips, whatever. Let them know how often you'll be sending an email. And then also make sure that you have your contact information, and you're always doing a very subtle kind of call to action. That if you'd like to book a meeting with me, or if you'd like to try the product or something, kind of put a little soft sell at the end of each email. Then your third email, that's when if they haven't unsubscribed, that means they're interested in what you're sending. Then you offer some type of promotion. Okay. A promotion doesn't always have to be something free or discounted, but just something to try to, get a little nibble. So a promotion. And then finally, your fourth email should be your real call to action. Last chance to sign up for my upcoming event, or last chance to get this product at this price or something. Because at some point you do want to kind of pull the trigger to see if you can turn them from a lead to a prospect. And that's a simple 4 sequence email nurturing. I've seen some that can go on for 90 days and some that just never end. Okay. Next, I want to talk about videos. Videos are so popular now. They weren't back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, the people who could afford to do videos are, Fortune 500 companies, the big ones that could afford a whole video team and shoot and all that kind of stuff. Now, there is no excuse for you not to have a video. There are so many AI tools to create a video like that, and I've done it. And videos are so engaging because it's all about capturing attention. And we're all inundated, overwhelmed with all the noise out there on the internet. So videos can help to showcase your product or service. You could do customer testimonial videos. It's so much better to watch someone and listen to someone with their testimonial instead of just reading it. You could have educational content, and just know that all of this will increase your reach and visibility. And you could take a long video, like for instance, I could take this video and I could chop it up and use parts of this video for my social media content. You think I'm not going to? Okay. And let's see. And finally, you want to have, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier with your CRM, you want to have some automated follow-up. You want to, with your email sequences, appointments, try to always get many times when you have a good prospect, then set the next appointment. When you have that first meeting with them, to say this went really well. I'd like to follow up with you in a week, in a month, or whatever it is. Is that okay with you? And then put that in your CRM and have your reminder. And then with social media, as well, you could do almost like a story or something with your social media to keep people wanting to come back and see what's the next thing you're going to put in this social media. Maybe you started a little conversation talking about a vacation you went on, and then you're going to leave that little nugget at the end of the social media saying, look for my next post where I'll talk about the bear that I escaped on my trip. Woo, you're going to get people who are wanting to tune into your social media. So just anything to help with your engagement. You're trying to stand out. That's really what marketing is all about. And then finally, measure. I know there's some saying that goes with it, and if I don't write it down, I'll forget it. But if you don't measure what works, then you could be spending a whole lot of time on something that's not even bringing you any value. And I made that mistake early in my entrepreneur career because I believed the hype. I believed everything everybody said. Oh, this can 10x your business, and oh, you'll get so many leads, and da da da. And I was just shelling out money. I was paying, buying, trying this, trying that. And you cannot build your business on emotion, because as an entrepreneur, you're going to believe what you want to believe, but numbers don't lie. I know someone that always says documentation beats conversation. So you need to be able to have those values. You need to be able to look at your metrics called KPIs, key performance indicators. If you paid a certain amount of money to do some ads, then you need to know, are those ads bringing you in any revenue? Look at your landing page. Is it even getting any activity? Are you getting 1,000 hits a day, but you're only getting one person that filled out your form? Well, you need to look at that landing page and figure out something's going on. Something may not even be working. You may have a link that's broke. You don't know unless you measure. You got to constantly measure. What was their situation? Either way, measure with your website traffic, your conversion with social media. That's what I'm saying. Some people, they spend all this time doing all this social media, and it's not even getting nothing because they're probably on the wrong platform, targeting the wrong people, or using the wrong kind of images or ads. Okay. And then look at what product or service is really getting you the most revenue. You could be spending a whole lot of time trying to promote a product or service that's not even really your main cash cow. You need to know all of this stuff. And then retention. Remember what I said. You don't want to do all of this work and get a lot of clients, and then you're not retaining them, because then you have to do the process all over again. However, what I just explained is an ongoing process. So don't be fooled. It's not, it's an everyday thing. Marketing is an everyday thing. You need to constantly be filling that funnel. Like I said, I've been in business since the 90s. I have retained customers ever since 2003. Why? Because I constantly engage not only with my existing customers, but I'm also always filling my my pipeline, my sales funnel, filling my sales funnel with new leads and prospects. And then along the way, I'm meeting new people and connecting them with my existing clients, my existing customers. Actually, that has become one of the main things that I do today. Is when I network with an intention to find people that have products or services that can help my existing clients. And that builds credibility for me, because now I'm connecting to different businesses and I'm not just looking at what's in it for me. And once you learn that principle, you'll get so much further and as a solopreneur. So those are some nuggets. And if you want more, then you can contact me, Arba Cooper, and just go to my simple little thing there, Arba DT. That's for Arba Digital Technologist. And that's what I am. People say, well, what is a digital technologist? That's someone who takes different technologies depending on what my client needs, and I mix and match, and I come up with the perfect formula for my clients, because one size does not fit all. And you need to make sure you position yourself, position your business like that. Don't think one size fits all. You want to have a solution for a specific problem. Have a solution that fulfills a specific problem. Okay, so if you're interested in everything that I just shared with you, then contact me. Go to arbadt.com and I'll book an appointment with me.
Yeah, well, I tell you, you are full of information, and thank you so much for being here to give us all this information. In fact, I was taking notes like crazy. So, anyway, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Provided. Yes, thank you.